Okay, we're about to start on our pretty epic trip. 23 years ago, I think, was the last time I was here. We're at the Stanton Bay access point on Pickerel Lake. And I've tripped many months through Quetico on my own in my younger years, and Brendan is joining me now for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're pretty excited, I think, right,
Yeah.
bud? He's like, his pack's pretty heavy right now. I'm sure he's thinking, like, just stop talking. We have about a 450 meter portage from the parking lot here to Pickerel Lake. So we're double carrying. I got the canoe and the big yellow pack. I think I'm ready to go. Should be fun. Alright, so we had a little bit of an initial difficulty, right? There was something super sharp jabbing into your back on the first portage. But other than that, you can carry the weight though, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We got a pretty good load there. Here we are. It's got to be probably what, Brandon, about 11:30?
I do not know.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Really hot. Like right now they're calling for 27 or 29 Celsius. And we're just at the landing at Stanton Bay. So we have a pretty good paddle now. We're going to try and make it to, there's a couple of 5-star campsites towards Pine Portage Bay, where the first portage, next portage exists into Dori Lake, which is how we're going to access Sturgeon Lake. But depending on how the day goes and how we're feeling, we may just keep pushing on, eh, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this should be fun. Let's do it. Okay, we're still in Pickerel Lake. Brand just could not wait any longer, so we broke the rods out. We're gonna stay in Pickerel tonight. He was dying to catch fish, and
It's just pulling like...
this is actually, I don't know, the 4th or 5th one, Brand?
Yeah.
Something like that. Just, yeah, it's a pretty nice one. Smallmouth galore on little perch-colored rattle trap, actually. It's an excellent search bait for the summer. Just, you know, when they're a little bit deeper water, 8 to 10 feet, not real tight to shore. That fish just absolutely hammered it, eh, buddy?
Yeah.
And jumping like crazy. Yeah, been trying to tell Bren, it's with the trebles, he's learning pretty good actually. Very dangerous, so you could hurt yourself. You got to just be a little more forceful and just grab a hold. There you go. That's a nice fat one. Look at that. Way to go. You know, we just started. 16 more days or whatever, right? 15 more days?
Yeah.
Your thumb is going to be shredded like a cheese grater went over it by the end of the trip, I think. There you go. Let's have a look at that one.
Oh.
That's a quality fish.
Yeah.
Right on. Good job. We'll put it back. Lots more of those. So what do you say? You glad we came to Quetico?
Yeah.
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 Me too. Okay, this is our first campsite on Pickerel Lake. We're on an absolutely gorgeous 5-star campsite on Pine Portage Bay, very close to the Portaging to Dori Lake. It's just a gorgeous, beautiful evening here. Warm, sunny, breezy through here. Not a single bug. It's just perfect. Great little area here. There's a nice fire pit. There's kind of a ridge. The prevailing winds are going to come from that direction. So there's a little bit of a ridge here to protect the site in poor weather. And literally the flattest spot I've ever seen in my life for a tent, with just the most unbelievable view. There's another tent site through the trees over that way if it's really nasty weather. But this is great for mid-July. I'm not even putting the fly on tonight. I'll keep it handy just in case it rains. And Brendan won't give up. Just casting a, what are you casting there, buddy? Rattle trap?
Yeah.
Rattle trap off the rocks. Still looking for smallmouth. Beautiful evening. We're gonna have dinner shortly. Alright, Bren just caught this pretty nice smallmouth right off the campsite.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there trying to message on the inReach. He won't give up. Nice one, buddy. That's a beauty. Yep, definitely let it go. Alright, this is the face of a man who just completed a, I don't know what it is, 420, 450 meter portage. It's our second full day from Pickerel Lake into Dori Lake. How are you making out there, buddy?
Fine.
Fine, it wasn't too...
No,
bugs.
the bugs are horrible.
So, anyway, on to the next lake. Okay, day 2. We're on, where are we at, Bren? Sturgeon, yeah. I don't know, about halfway down. Oh, there's a neck down here with a little bit of current between a couple of the islands. And man, oh man, holy cow. I think Bren just has a plastic paddle tail, to be specific, and an X-Zone swammer on a really light head. And there's the neck down right behind us there. They pull hard, don't they, bud?
Yeah.
All right. Look at that. That's a beauty. Right on. That is a nice big fat bass. Way to go. Okay, it's early morning on our third full day, and we're paddling down Sturgeon Lake. It's a monstrously huge lake towards the outlet of the Maligne River. And look at this. How lucky is this? It's like flat calm. Unbelievable. We battled a pretty severe headwind yesterday heading down the upper part of Sturgeon Lake. This is just like a dream come true. So we're making good time, and we're gonna hit the Maligne River soon, right, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we just kind of entered the weed-lined channel of Pooh-bah Creek, leading up into Pooh-bah Lake. We got lots of days in front of us, so we haven't decided yet whether we're going to go straight into Pooh-bah or do a little side trip into Wink Lake. I think we're going to decide when we get to the point where the Wink portage is. But anyway, we just paddled down the Maligne River this morning. We kind of ran into a group of, school group of girls from Minnesota, eh, Bren?
Yeah.
We were hopping over each other in the portage, and then Brendan got, what's the word?
I don't know.
Competitive. So we blew him away, right, buddy? Anyway, we left him behind, but it's a beautiful day. Warm, still warm, really not buggy, but there's some huge towering cumulus clouds, and just as we entered Pooh-bah Creek, you could hear thunder rumble far in the distance. So I sure hope we get in wherever we're gonna get to and get camp set up before this heads. There's a moose right there. Look at that. Right there. Keep paddling closer, Brent. Cool. I don't know if the video camera is going to pick that up because I don't have a zoom on it. There she goes, or he goes. Very cool. Right on. Wildlife, eh, bud?
Yeah.
Well, it's our third morning in Quetico. As you can see, I'm inside a screen tent right now. Just a beautiful island campsite on Pooh-bah Lake. I'm drinking my coffee. Well protected from the bugs. Even though it's windy, there's a lot of mosquitoes out here. We've got our chairs. Brendan is still sleeping in the tent, and boy oh boy did the wind ever pick up. It's basically a northeast wind, I think. So we will be battling some wind today, but there's enough islands on this lake that it's not going to be a problem to find shelter to fish. So we're here for a while, so there's no rush to get out there. I'm sure we'll catch plenty of fish in due time. Brendan needs a sleep. It's been 3 tough days of travel in a row to get to this point, and he's a tough little guy, but he's still only 11. Okay, it's our first full day here on Pooh-bah Lake. Kept a one walleye for dinner. Bren's got a pretty chunky pike. We had a massive one, eh? Come up, like it was like a 40-inch class fish actually. Tried to grab one of the walleye. And this one T-boned Bren's little walleye jig. Do you want me to grab it or?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that too big for you?
I don't want to.
It's actually not that big, Bren.
I know.
But jigging for walleye and we catch pike. Just grab it like behind the head. You should be able to just pop that jig right out, no problem. Let's have a look at that beastly thing. That's a chunky pike. They're really dark, beautifully spotted fish. Turn around, let me see the side of it. Yeah. Beauty, buddy. Right on. Way to go.
Yay.
Alright, we found a nice feeding flat here. We're just trolling J13 Rapalas. Brendan's got just an old tried and true black and silver one on. And I actually have a brook trout pattern one. Here, hold on one second, buddy. Let me turn the boat around. So this is like a saddle between, there's a little island right there and the mainland, and there's like a little weedy creek filtering in right there. And it's about 11 feet deep. And there's fish here. Nice one. That's actually a really nice one. We're gonna have another walleye feast tonight, so let's have a look at that golden beauty. They really slam it, eh?
Yeah.
These fish. I mean, you thought it was a smallmouth for a second. Good job, bud. I think we're on to some fish here.
Yay.
Yay is right. Hey, Bran, that fish really slammed your lure, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, just absolutely slammed it. Another nice chunky walleye. Quetico Park walleye. And it's like, what's the date? The 22nd of July?
I don't know.
Yeah, boiling hot day. It's got to be close to 30 degrees Celsius in about 11 feet of water. Girthy walleye. Yeah. I think you have the pliers right up there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Careful there.
Ow.
You might want to just use the pliers to make it safer.
Okay.
Oh, nice fat one. Awesome. Well done. Back she goes. So on the business end of both of our rods, we have about 1.5 feet of 30-pound fluorocarbon. There's a lot of rocks, lots of abrasion, so I just have like a Alberto knot. A lot of people use a uni knot, but braid to fluoro connection, and just a small split or a cross-lock snap, because we're primarily targeting walleyes and smallmouth. That's a brook trout pattern, J13, but the fish here in Quetico seem to like it. Anything with orange in it works really good. And Brendan's using the black and silver. You can't go wrong with that one ever. Okay, throw it out there, bud. See if you can get another one. Okay, I'm not even sure what day this is. I've lost track, but it's a travel day, and we're just trolling through the same area where we slammed the fish yesterday on our way to our portage. And Bren's got a nice one. Oh, it's a nice walleye. Just barely hooked. That thing slammed his lure so hard he couldn't get the rod out of the holder. That is a nice chunk. Very nice fish. Those walleye, that's a beauty. Those walleye seem to actually hit harder than the smallmouth bass. They just slam these lures. Hey, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Good job. Got a symphony of loons here this morning. It's so beautiful. We're almost at the portage. We just got to paddle through this little gap here, and it's on the far shore somewhere. It looks kind of steep, so I think could be in for a workout. All right. I just landed a nice chunk a minute ago. We took a picture of it. Didn't get the video on. We're actually both casting live target perch crankbaits, just small ones. And Bren's got just a chunk of a smallmouth. It's kind of like early evening.
Oh yeah, I got it.
That's a beauty. Look at that. Right on. He just hammered that thing. That's a chunk, bud. Nice fish. I'm like, so Brent, should I put the camera on? He's like, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a tank.
No. Is this? Oh my gosh! It's a giant. It's a
Okay,
tank.
okay, that's. I'm gonna probably not edit that out because this is actually a super nice pike, and I'm probably gonna have to go. Oh man, oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I officially like this lake better, Bren.
Yes, me too. It's a tank.
Okay. I'm gonna have to grab that. There's no way you're gonna be able to handle. Oh, it's like that's a nice one. That's, oh boy. Okay, he's not even close to being ready. I'm not even gonna bother trying yet. Or will I? That's a big, thick fish. What's he like? He hooked on the transducer? What's he doing? Go away! Get away from my transducer. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, this is going to be an epic battle, and I don't quite know how we're going to do this.
I'm shaking.
Oh my god.
On a jig.
So yeah, we've been catching big smallmouth and walleye off this island. It's just in the evening. Our campsite is like right over there.
Like I said, I don't like my jig. And then
No, and this really big, thick, giant, fat pike just inhaled Brendan's jig, and you can't.
I don't like my jig, and then two.
Yeah, he said I don't like my jig, and I'm like, you know what? You should leave it on. But I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna move my rods out of the way,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna probably try and get you, if you can, to get, because this is gonna be a two-man job here. Actually, I'm gonna hand you the camera, and then I'm gonna grab the fish. Just take your time. Oh, that's a big behemoth.
It is.
Take. Oh man, I really want to get this fish in. Okay, Bren, I can probably grab that fish if you can. No, you're gonna have to get over into this middle part of the boat. Carefully. All right. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can grab this beast now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mass pandemonium. I'm getting everything ready. I'm getting everything ready because it's.
It's gonna flop.
Oh, it's gonna flop.
You're scared.
I am.
Oh my gosh! It's
a big fish.
It is.
Okay, it's probably so close to being. This is where you need a boga, actually. It's gonna flop. I don't even want to bring it in. Oh my God. Point the camera at it. This might be our only shot of this fish. Oh, man. Oh my God.
It's a giant.
Okay. Where's my pliers? Oh, he's gonna freak out and it's gonna like just break everything in the boat, right? It's gonna flop around and break all our rods. Oh, you're so lucky you landed.
It's engulfed.
It's completely inhaled. Okay, okay, we have to, all right, we're gonna shut the camera off now. First thing. That was amazing, buddy.
Yeah.
We're just, we got a couple of pictures and Bren's trying to revive her. Okay, I'm going to show everybody this truly amazing island campsite on Wink Lake. So it's on a point more or less facing west. It's still somewhat early in the morning. The sun is rising in that direction here. It's a really nice landing for the canoe here. And as you come up here, it's really something special. We've got a perfectly flat spot, numerous flat spots actually for a bunch of tents, but we chose this one. It was the flattest spot. Two different fire pits. There's this humongous one built into the base of this giant boulder for cooking with a bunch of grills. And then another one over here with benches around it for evening campfires. We're not really having fires. We're using our stove to cook on, and the bugs, mosquitoes are really pretty bad as soon as dusk starts to hit. So we're not really having campfires, just for ambiance. I set this screen tent up under my tarp, and that's pretty much what we're hanging out in the evening. So great little screen tent actually. It's not self-supporting, so it takes a lot of ropes to set up, but the thing only weighs 2.5 pounds, and man, it's worth its weight in gold. Got a couple of chairs. We got everything set up and nicely organized in there, safe from the bugs. But this site, wow, it's spectacular. It's mid-July. It's been hot for days now, 30 plus Celsius. The water temperature on my fish finder, surface temperature is 75 Fahrenheit. So we've been swimming every day. It's been glorious, absolutely glorious. Okay, we're anchored just off, that's the island where Bren caught the big fish. And we're just off in slightly deeper water, anchored here, catching smallmouth, pike, and then Bren flipped his jig out, and what do you got on there, buddy?
A lake trout.
A lake trout. Nice lake trout. This is the first lake trout of the trip, actually. That's super cool. Well, they're a little bit easier to grab than pike. Way to go, bud. On a small 3-inch big hammer swim bait on like a 3/8 ounce head. And right now under the boat we've got about 22 feet of water. Nice little laker. Well, we're directly adjacent to really deep water. Nice lake trout. Way to go. Okay, Bren switched to top water. We're gonna see if we can get some of these strikes on camera. Explosive. It's a largemouth. You just caught a largemouth bass. That's the last thing I expected. I didn't even know they were actually in this lake.
It's a nice one too.
That's a nice largemouth. Wow. So there's largemouth bass in Wink Lake. Who knew?
I've caught six species of fish on this ship.
Well, so far, since you've been here, not even 24 hours, caught a nice, really nice largemouth. We'll get a picture of that one. Smallmouth, lake trout, giant pike, and walleye. All right, we just second evening on Wink, hey buddy?
Yeah.
And we've been having a blast catching walleye and smallmouth all day long, and the odd pike. Brendan got a lake trout earlier, so I'm trolling in this 50 foot of water here with Rapala tail dancers that go down 30 feet. This is the purple descent color, so trout always seem to like purple, and guess what? I got one. It's not a super huge one, but pretty nice one. Just slammed it. I couldn't actually even get the ooh, he burped. Get the rod out of the holder. So just for everybody watching this video, the reason why this is going to be more difficult to unhook is because someone else dropped her only set of pliers in the lake. I'm not going to name any names. He's smiling. You turn the camera around and show your face. That's okay. It's just going to be a little trickier, that's all. There. We'll tail him. Nice little trout. See if I can grab him this way and then unhook him.
Fish jumping out.
Yeah, probably smallmouth in tight and trout out in the 50 foot hole. Perfect. Look at that. Oh, he's gonna shake. There we go. Nice. On the Maligne, Bren just grabbed his jig rod. We're headed back up the Maligne to Sturgeon Lake from Wink Lake. Just grabbed his jig rod, and what do you got there, buddy? A little snake? Lots of those guys. There's so many fish in all these pools. Perfect. That was easy. Okay, another beautiful spot on the Maligne here. Big set of rapids. Brendan's just wading wet. We've already caught, I don't know, 3 walleye, a couple smallmouth, and a pike, and Brendan snagged again. No, I just retied. Oh no. Oh.
I think the walleye got snagged on the rock.
Oh no. No way. Oh. Bren just had a fish on and it got snagged on a rock. Unbelievable. Can't win in this spot. Did you get it off? No. Ugh. Double header. Bren's got one, and I got one. Oh. The walleye in here are, they're smaller, but they're clearly resident fish, a very different color, eh, Bren?
Yeah.
Really dark golden. Mine was inhaled.
How do you supposed to grab them?
Just grab them behind the head and then pop the jig out with your other hand. Good job. Okay. Here. Okay, I gotta do a little finagling with this one. No pliers because Bren dropped them in the lake. So, squeeze the gill plates and you gotta push your finger in to the danger zone. There. That's how it's done. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to show everybody this really amazing spot. We pushed hard yesterday from Wink Lake all the way up, back up the Maligne River, dragging the canoe up through some of the rapids. Some pretty strong current to paddle against, and then boy oh boy did we ever have a fierce headwind and some big rollers paddling northeast up Sturgeon Lake. But we stumbled upon this really stupendously awesome campsite. It's in a neck down area just west of Scripture Island, Rocky Point, just towering white pines. Just a beautiful, beautiful spot. Nice little fire pit with a bench here. I set up the tarp in the screen house because when we pulled in here yesterday evening, the mosquitoes were actually pretty bad. So the screen tent is phenomenal, but it's not self-supporting, so there's just ropes everywhere. That's the only downside, but it's a small price to pay. Really beautiful flat spot for the tent. Brendan's been fishing from shore. He's just itching to get out in the canoe, I'm sure. Yeah. And beautiful little landing here. There's actually a little bit of a beach. A little bit of a sand beach in between the rocks here to pull the boat up. There's all our gear ready to roll. This neck down area, there's fish boiling everywhere, and the loons are working this area like crazy. I'm pretty sure there's current through here. Should be a great spot to fish. Right in front of our camp here in this neck down, literally right in front of the camp. We just landed 2 or 3 small walleyes, and I think Bren's got a little pike on here. You don't have to go far. Oh. Getting good at landing them now. Very nice. This is a great spot here. There's some real mild current flowing through this neck down, and we're in like 25 feet of water here right now, but there's some rocks right there. It's such a good spot. So if we're gonna eat walleye for dinner, we basically just have to paddle 30 feet from our tent, bud. Yeah. Yeah, real tough. Brenda's got another one right in front of our campsite over there again. Another small pike. We're getting a mix of small walleye and pike in here. Brenda's getting a lot of experience handling pike on this trip, more so than usual. Doesn't want to give up that one, does it? There you go. Good job, buddy. That's a nice thick one. Good job. All right.
Probably a pike.
Brendan just said this is probably a pike. We were just trolling these live target smelt crankbaits. It's so heavy. That's a good one. Brenda's basically got the exact same lure that I have on. He's got the same gold-colored live target smelt. Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably a pike that slammed your lure.
Hopefully it's a walleye.
If it's a walleye, it's a massive.
This is probably a big pike.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, my arm is just. Oh, it's just. It won't
Oh
stop.
my God! It's just bending your rod. Look at.
Oh.
Your arms are all tired from paddling too, probably, right?
It doesn't have big ass cheeks. Whoa! Oh! Oh my God!
Let's have a look at this fish.
And if it's a smallmouth, it's a world record.
Yeah, it's not a smallmouth.
No. Oh.
Careful, just easy. Those really fine, sharp hooks can pull right out. What is it, Bren?
It's a giant pike. It's a massive pike.
Okay, well.
It's 40 inches.
Okay, buddy.
It's another 40-inch pike.
Okay, let me get my rod out of the way. I don't see your. We don't have a steel leader or a titanium leader on that one. So I'm gonna try and get to shore. And we'll hopefully land that beast and get some photos. Oh, I really don't. The only thing that's going to happen at this point, he's going to bite you off. Oh man, nice one. That's a good one. It's hard to film and paddle at the same time. Yeah. Once we get to shore, I'm going to get you to get out on a nice flat rock, and then we can actually land this beast rather than have it erupt in the canoe. We got lucky with that last one. Sure. Your lure is completely engulfed. I don't know how that fish didn't bite you off. We'll get it out, no problem with the jaw spreaders. Hop out, please. Okay, I'm gonna try and land this beast from shore. Do you want me to grab it?
Yes. I'm not grabbing. I can see it. The lure, just the whole entire lure.
Okay, we got this thing. I'm just gonna shut the camera off right now so I can deal with it. All right, we're on Sturgeon Lake. We're fishing around Scripture Island. There's just a huge archipelago of islands. There's current through all of these islands, and I've got a strong suspicion that there's going to be smallmouth just up ahead. So I've just got a little Berkeley ripple shad with an orange head. I don't think it particularly matters. It's what I happen to have on right now. 3-inch and kind of a natural color with a bright orange head. So we're about to pan the camera up ahead, Bren. A bit of a neck down right there. And yes, there's a little bit of current there. Just gonna slip through here slowly. Sounds like a float plane flying overhead right at this moment. very shallow and rocky here. Okay. There was a teeny little bit of current there. Alright. Let's see what happens. I'm shocked. Oh, there's one. Yep. Oh, and there's like... Oh. There was 2 more following that fish in. I was about to say it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but yeah, they're here. There are fish here. Oh, these guys just don't give up. So this is just like a super light jigging rod with 10-pound braid, and on the business end there's like about 1.5 foot of 12-pound fluorocarbon. And the jig. Oh man, they're pure muscle, these guys. There we go. Nice chunk. Right on. Alright, it's a travel day. We just left our amazing campsite about halfway down Sturgeon Lake. And yeah, we're going to paddle up to the Narrows and then eventually portage into Antoine Lake today. So it's about a kilometer-long portage. And I believe it's probably for us from the Narrows going to be mostly uphill for a lot of the way, I think. So... should be a good workout, but man, we got lucky with the waves this morning, the wind. Hey, Bren?
Yeah.
Pretty easy paddle so far.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Does not get any nicer than this. Okay, we're anchored here and we're kind of facing the sun, so the exposure isn't the greatest, but there's a cluster of rocks. That's our island right there where we're camped here in Antoine Lake. Just started fishing, caught a handful of walleyes, including one real beauty, about 23, 24 inches. Bren lost a pretty big one. Hey, bud?
Yeah.
Like about 15 minutes ago. It's got something decent on here. I think it's a
Smallmouth.
nice smallmouth, yeah. There's a nice mix of fish here on this shoal. That's a nice chunk. And he really inhaled that jig too. Yeah, boy. That's a chunk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice fish, buddy. So we're just using these Northland Impulse paddle tails.
Oh, he gulped it. It's in his throat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you'll be able to get this out.
You know what? You might need my help with that.
Yes.
So we'll do that and get a quick picture and get back to fishing. Another nice fish. This one's a perfect eating sized walleye. We're actually going to eat walleye tonight, but it's way too early in the day to keep one, so we're going to wait till this evening. Lucky for that fish. That's a perfect eating sized walleye. Once again on the Northland Impulse paddle tail. Just casting it out like fairly long casts. Letting it sink to the bottom and just slowly hopping it back. Nice little fat walleye. Crawling it back along the bottom, and we're gonna mix a smallmouth and walleye here. We haven't even really fished the lake. Like our campsite, as I said earlier, is like right there. We just like paddled out to here through the anchor town and started catching fish. These little flies. There's one like right there. Looks like a housefly. I hate them with every fiber of my being. Oh, I hate those flies. They're fast, you can't kill them, and they bite. Repellent doesn't really repel them, it's just flavoring for them. Alright, still our first morning on Antoine. We're just over at another island, prominent island point, just drifting across it, and got a handful of the smaller fish. This is decent. Feels like a chunk of a walleye, but on this lake you never know what it's gonna be. Oh. Just like a smelt pattern Northland Impulse paddle tail on a real subtle head.
What's a pike?
It's a, you know what? It's a pretty nice pike. And Bren just got sawed off.
Yeah.
A second ago. So probably not the same pike. So obviously there's a few. That's an okay pike. Now how am I going to get him in the boat? This should be fun. This is where you need a boga. Next time. See if you'll be cooperative.
Oh, he splashed me all wet now.
There. Nice chunk of a pike. Right on. Alright, we released that pike a second ago. Paddled up past the same point, dropped my jig down, just drifting, and another pike. It was just screaming out line a second ago. Yeah, it's not quite as big as the other one. Nice solid pike though. Oh, such a challenge in the canoe. Got him. Okay. There we go. Nice. Brent thought he was snagged and he was like jiggling around and messing around. I knew that was a fish.
I didn't know.
Oh, that was funny.
And it feels really heavy, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
It could be a big pike, I think.
It's either one of those axe handle sized pike or most likely.
Big giant. Like,
Or
it could be 40 inches.
Not a chance.
Oh.
Everything you hook is 40 inches.
Yes, everything I do hook is 40 inches.
Have you got a look at it yet? I can't see nothing.
Yeah, it's like 30s and 30s.
We got sun exposure in the wrong direction here, but I got the anchor down and we're gonna live with it. Unless you can get that pike to tow us around in the other direction. I'm guessing, yeah, it's like the ones that I just caught.
It felt giant.
I should probably land that one.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, or you can try, yeah. See how good you are.
How to gill him?
So wait till he settles down and then you know how to grab him. There you go. Hey, you got it. Good one, bud. Back she goes. Good job. Okay, Bren just grabbed my rod, the little bugger. And thought for sure it was a pike, but no. That's a really nice walleye.
See if I could actually grab him.
Yeah. Probably like just like not around the head, but just yeah, yeah.
This is
That's a big walleye. Just take your time. We got no wind really bothering us here right now. I think he's pretty well hooked, thank goodness. Oh, nice chunk, buddy. Let me see that one from the side. Like from this, oh, that's a beauty. We want to put a tape on that. That might be 26 inches. Right on. Just said to Bren, we've got one mission now, today. We're catching lots and lots of fish.
I think this is a smallmouth.
I kind of think it's a pike. We want one eater walleye.
It did not look like a pike.
No? Okay.
I think it's a giant smallmouth.
A giant smallmouth? We're eating fish tonight, so we want just one eater walleye, one good size.
Pike now,
We fished our way pretty much all around the lake, and we're back to our go-to point right across from our campsite over there. It's such a good spot. There's some big towering cumulus rolling in here right now. About an hour ago, there was another big boom of thunder off in the distance. So this is just a hot, sunny, typical midsummer weather pattern with the convective clouds. Yeah, it's a little pike.
Lake trout.
No way. Are you kidding me? That is so cool. We weren't expecting that. So wait a minute now. What do you need for the Quetico Grand Slam from this lake? Is that it? You got it? You got walleye. You got
Yeah, I got everything.
you got smallmouth. You got pike, and now you got lake trout. And I think all from the same spot. That is so cool. Right on. Are you going to be able to land that feisty beast?
Probably.
That's on a little pearl-colored 3-inch big hammer swim bait. They have a really large, oversized paddle tail on them. I like them a lot. Don't high stick the rod, you're going to break it. You're going to break the rod when you do that. That would have been a good video.
I thought it felt like lake trout was rolling.
Because it was rolling, yeah, they do roll. Brendan's a savvy veteran now. You can tell what species of fish just by the way it fights. Look at that. Beautiful spots on that fish. And look at the orange tips on the fins. Gorgeous. Way to go, buddy. Right on. Okay, we left Antoine Lake today. We're actually just hung up on a rock here right now. Portaged into Ram. And we're taking the slightly less traveled route out of Ram, following the creek down to Sturgeon Lake, hoping that there's enough water. We just did a very short portage from Ram to this beaver pond. Looks like a beaver pond. There's the Valhalla Inn of beaver lodges dead ahead. So we're probably going to have a lift over, I'm guessing, over a beaver dam, and then hope the creek is good, eh, buddy?
Yeah.
Otherwise we're going to be slogging in swamp muck. No, I don't want to do that either. All right, time will tell. Okay, that was nasty. We had to drag the canoe over the beaver dam and then about 200 feet of dried up marsh, and we're in kind of a deep channel here. I don't think we're too far from Sturgeon. In fact, if I stand up, yep.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah. So we gotta go to the left and then through there, Bren. Left and then right.
Yeah.
And there's the lake up ahead. Hee-haw! I just came out of a little patch of reeds and surprised these guys. Don't mean to disturb you. We just gotta get by you. Okay, it's been kind of a long day, Bren.
Yeah.
We went from Antoine into Ram, that was easy. Then we took the wrong way out of Ram. I filmed a little bit of it earlier, the swamp that was all dried up, the creek. Oh, that was nightmarish. We were all covered in leeches. Hey, buddy? It was not good. And then into Sturgeon, and then up the Riviere, into Dori Lake. Actually, Twin Lakes, and then along Portaging into Dori, and then paddle down Dori with a tailwind, thank God. And then Dori into Pine Portage Bay on Pickerel Lake, and it's probably, I don't know what it is now, 7:30. We're just approaching an island here. I think there's a really sweet spot there on the point, and what an unbelievable view, facing directly west. Hopefully that spot will live up to our standards. But there's a few around here anyway. Anyhow, we're almost there. Okay, we made it to our campsite here after a really long day of travel. This is a pretty nice spot. There's a actual beach here for landing. We've got our canoe pulled up here, our shoes drying. All our tackle actually is in that backpack. Weighs about 20 pounds. 6 rods. Anyway, check this out. I think Brendan is fishing, I'm not sure. I haven't set the tarp up or the screen tent because quite frankly, I don't think it's going to rain and there's no bugs. What you doing down there, buddy? He's trying to catch a frog. It's late. It's been a long day. He won't stop. Unbelievable. So this is it. Nice big fire pit. Pretty nice expansive view. This spot actually isn't the spot we were paddling towards. It's on the other side of the island. This is facing more east. So we got the kitchen set up over here with our food barrel, little cocktail table, little stone kitchen table, and I don't know, maybe the flattest spot I've ever had in my life for a tent. It's like hard packed earth, but just like flat as a board. Love this tent, by the way, this Big Agnes. Pretty sure it's the lightest 4-man tent on the market. Big spacious tent. It's actually lighter than a lot of 3-man tents. So I'm pretty tuckered out. It's been a long day. I'm enjoying the this shot of rum in my lime Gatorade right now. I'm glad we made it here though. What a beautiful spot. Okay, this is our last kind of full day in Quetico. We're on Pickerel Lake, just trolling around the lee side of an island close to our camp because it's really windy today.
Feels like a walleye.
Feels like a walleye?
Yeah, it's not really fighting.
Live target smelt. It's been kind of our go-to kind of search bait. No, little pike. Little pike. Maybe I should get it, buddy. Are you okay with that? I am going to shut the camera off for this because it's going to require 2 hands. We're just in the most protected spot here. You can't tell, but the whole lake is like whitecaps. And we caught a couple of pike, and Bren was just messing around right here, and guess what? Walleye. And that was our goal, right, buddy?
Yep.
Little Mr. Twister 3-4 inch twister tail with an orange head. We're eating walleye tonight. One more of that size, and we'll have a feast. Let me swing it over here for a second. Nice. Good job. Okay. It's a momentous occasion. It took you, what, an hour?
Yeah.
To catch a frog. You know, that's the rare northern, you can tell because it's a dark and mottled color. They're poisonous, those frogs.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they are. Wait, you guys are doing so. Oh, there he goes. You caught him though.
Yeah.
You accomplished your mission. Hopefully he didn't bite you. Here we are. Just made it. This massive thunderstorm hit. Hey, buddy?
Yeah.
Literally. It's the first really, really good test of this tent. So far, so good.
What are you looking at me at for?
Okay, we had just a god-awful, horrible thunderstorm, like 90-kilometer-an-hour winds last night. Wind shifted from southwest to straight north, and we just barely made it to our tent. And I don't know what time it is now, 8:39. We're heading out today, and it's nasty. It's like low ceiling, pretty strong headwind all the way to our takeout at Stanton Bay, and it's cold. It's probably about 6 degrees Celsius right now. Think we can make her, bud?
Yeah.
Well, we have incentive. There's like burgers with their name on it waiting for us in Atikokan. All right, let's see if we can do this. Well, we did not make it. We got it about halfway to Stanton Bay, and waves just got a little too much, eh, Bren?
Yeah, they did.
A little too much. So we're kind of windbound here. We're just drying the tent out, making a little freeze-dried meal down there, and a coffee. Prudence is definitely the better part of valor. I think, you know, we could have pushed it, but there's no reason why. You can't tell here. It's a calm oasis right here. But around the point, the lake is just an absolute sea of whitecaps. And the sad part is we're not that far from Stanton, but there's just no way. So we'll wait it out here for a bit, and then you know, hopefully, you know, late afternoon, evening, it dies down, we can get out of here. Okay, we're at our windbound point, and Brendan is bored. So he got a piece of fishing line that he found just on the ground, tied it to a stick. There was a snap swivel there, and he caught a grasshopper, and he's got it hooked onto the end of the snap swivel, right, buddy?
Yep.
And he just dropped it there in the water, and a little bass, just for a second, grabbed a hold of it.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Brendan,
he took it. No, he took
survivor boy.
He took my bait. I gotta
He
go
took your
find some
bait.
more.
Oh no.
I'll go find some more.
How are you going to find one?
I just go up there and I shake my foot in the grass.
Whoa. Oh, that's funny. Okay, our last few paddle strokes. The landing for the Stanton Bay parking lot is dead ahead. And we battled a really gnarly headwind getting over here, didn't we, buddy?
Yeah, I thought we were going to capsize.
Brendan said, I thought we were going to capsize. That's not true. But it was dicey for a little bit. But this canoe is amazing. Handles big water, awesome. It's the Souris River Quetico 17. We definitely put this canoe to the test. So anyway, it's been an unbelievable trip. One more portage to go. Well, we made it.
Yep.
Epic. 15 nights. A lot of hard portages. Lots of big fish. Who caught the biggest?
Obviously it's me.
Obviously you.
Yeah, I mean.
The two giant pike. Just an epic trip.
You're breathing pretty bad.
I know. That was incredible. I'm gonna do this every year as long as I can. I'm proud of you, bud. You handled that big water really well. Until the next time, we're signing off for Quetico, what, 2018? Quetico 2018.